And, man, we got a lot to get to today on the Blitz. I'm Jason Minix. Thanks for sticking through another Rangers meltdown. You know, when they were up 5-0 in the second inning, I thought, all right, we're going to get a full show in. But no. You know, they get the bases loaded, have a chance at a grand slam and put the thing out of reach. No, they don't do that. But they do give up 5 runs in the ninth inning to lose 9-5 in typical Rangers fashion. If you have been listening to that whole Rangers game, and I hope that, not to sound arrogant, but, waiting on the Blitz, I appreciate it. Let's reward you. We got all kinds of stuff to give away today. We've got missions tickets because clearly you're a baseball fan. You want to go see the Sod Puppies tomorrow from Amarillo take on the Missions. We've got a 4-pack and a VIP parking pass. Or you can go see movie tickets. Pledge, what's the name of the movie? It's Chai Tea something? What?
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
You want to go see a movie? Whatever you want, man. Call Pledge right now. We got 2 pair of movie tickets to give away. We got baseball tickets to give away. Callers 1, 2, and 3. Pick your prize. See what's left. 656-ESPN, 656-3776 on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. Yeah, man. If
all right off the top.
If they stop. Well, look, I just lost an hour and a half of the show. Because we do have tickets to go to the Good Sam at Texas Kickoff, Texas Tech in Houston. We'll give those away around 5:45. That's not right now in the prize mix. It's the Chai Tea movie, Shang-Chi, whatever, and the Marvel thing, or missions tickets. You want to go, you call Pledge right now. He's going to hook you up with some prizes. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Danny Kanell is going to join us at 5:30. So in about 15 minutes, we'll talk some college football with Danny Kanell. Good to catch up with an old friend. Speaking of old friends, Clint Stoerner is going to join us at 6:30. But let's get rolling with the big Cowboys news of the day. They did add a running back, which you kind of figured they were going to do. They weren't going to go with just Zeke and Tony Pollard. They wanted to add somebody that was going to participate on special teams. So Corey Clement continues his tour of NFC East teams. The former Giant, former Eagle has been signed by the Cowboys. But if you were listening a lot yesterday, I told you, when Will Grier got released by the Carolina Panthers, pay attention, the Cowboys were going to pick him up. He's got a long relationship with Doug Nussmeier, who's the quarterback's coach for the Cowboys. Will Grier, before he went to West Virginia, he was at Florida, and he played well under Doug Nussmeier. It makes sense. You always look at the relationships and past history when it comes to players like this. But I do like the idea that the Cowboys went out and found another quarterback to bring into the room. Now, I know that last year, Grier didn't play well in the 2 games that he got to play in the NFL level. But he's a good quarterback. And it's one of those situations where in the right system, he might be fine. He's better than Garrett Gilbert. Well, Garrett Gilbert got released. Ben DiNucci, by the way, he's coming back to the practice squad. I don't know what photos he has of somebody, but Ben DiNucci is back on the practice squad with the Dallas Cowboys, one of the many. But I go back to Will Grier, and what impresses me, all the talk yesterday, should the Cowboys look at Cam Newton? And I go back and I say, well, yeah, Cam Newton would be a major upgrade over Cooper Rush, who right now is quarterback 2. But in reality, an unvaccinated Cam Newton is going to have a hard time getting a job. Would the Cowboys look at him? Of course, they should look at him. And if you listen to Stephen Jones, he constantly says they're always looking to upgrade their roster. It's a 24/7, 365-day-a-year job. But what bothers me about the Cowboys quickly picking up Will Grier is, did they do enough during the offseason to address the backup quarterback situation? It really felt like they were that comfortable with Garrett Gilbert. And they did everything they could for Garrett Gilbert to win the job. He didn't. Cooper Rush beat him out. But are they comfortable enough with Cooper Rush? I think going to get Will Grier is a sign that, no, they're not completely satisfied with what they've got in that quarterback room. I'm curious to see what the release is going to be, but it's going to be a bottom of the roster guy as they churn the bottom of the roster. Keep in mind, they still have a handful of guys on the COVID list. And when those guys come back off the COVID list, other people are going to lose their jobs. So the 53 that you saw get announced yesterday, the guys that initially made the roster, that's not in concrete. We certainly know that's not in concrete. There's a lot of fluidity still with the Cowboys roster at a variety of positions. But I do like the fact that the Cowboys are addressing the backup quarterback situation. And you might say it doesn't matter if Dak gets hurt. If Dak is lost for the season, you're right. It doesn't matter. But if he's going to be out a week or 2 weeks, do you have somebody in there that can go in and help you win some football games? And I don't know that Cooper Rush is that guy. Quite frankly, I don't know that Will Grier is that guy. I saw an interesting tweet from our friend RJ Ochoa. Will Grier is the highest drafted quarterback in the Cowboys quarterback room. He was a 3rd-round pick. Dak was a 4th-round pick. Cooper Rush was undrafted. Think about that for a minute. I mean, that's pretty telling. But we see 3rd, 4th round, 5th round quarterbacks make it all the time. They don't have to be a 1st-round quarterback. They've got to be in the right situation. I like the idea of going and getting Will Grier. And I still don't know that the Cowboys are completely done when it comes to finding a backup quarterback. But that was a connection that was pretty easy to make and dot those I's. Yes, Christopher Louis, I can't read that on air, but yeah, typical Rangers. The bed. It's exactly what they did today. But appreciate you sticking through that and joining us here on the Blitz. And you go back to the idea that the vaccination isn't a factor. We know that it is. The Jacksonville Jaguars are now doing some damage control after what Urban Meyer said yesterday. You know, Urban Meyer, in talking about releasing players, said, yeah, vaccination status was a role.
Could you share with us whether a vaccinated versus unvaccinated player had an impact on a roster decision?
Everyone was considered. That was part of the production. Let's start talking about this, and then also, is he vaccinated or not? Can I say that was a decision maker? Was certainly in consideration.
It was a part of it, you know, very lawyerly like. That was a part of it. The NFLPA now investigating that because you can't do that, right? You can't just cut a guy because of vaccination status. Although you can always find a football reason as to why. Well, Bill Belichick knew what Urban had said, knew that the NFLPA was investigating. Bill Belichick talked for the first time today since releasing Cam Newton, and guess what he was asked?
Did Cam's vaccination status have anything to do with him being released?
No.
Sure.
No, I mean, look, you guys keep talking about that, and you know, I would just point out that I don't know what the number is. I mean, you guys can look it up. You have the access to a lot of information, but the number of players and coaches and staff members that have, been infected by COVID in this training camp who have been vaccinated is a pretty high number. So I wouldn't lose sight of that.
Yeah, and we're not going to lose sight of that, Belichick. But one of the things to keep in mind is the protocols if you're vaccinated versus unvaccinated, but you think about the high number that he speaks of. According to the NFL, 68 players and staff tested positive for COVID out of 7,190 tests. All right, 68, that's a lot. The unvaccinated NFL personnel, 7 times higher than the rate of positive test among unvaccinated players. So when you look at it, I look at the protocols. Like Tyrann Mathieu tested positive today from the Kansas City Chiefs, the Honey Badger. He says he's fully vaccinated, or reports are that he is fully vaccinated. So all he has to do is have 2 negative tests over a 24-hour period or 24 hours apart, and he's allowed to come back in the building. If you're unvaccinated, you have 10 days that you're out of the building. Imagine being out of the building for 10 days during the NFL season, and you're the backup quarterback somewhere. And that's why I think it'll be hard for Cam Newton to get a job. as a backup quarterback. Part of me wonders if he wants to be a backup quarterback, but you look at all these players, you're looking at 10 days out of the building, regardless of what your tests are saying. You test positive, you're unvaccinated, you're out at least 10 days before you can come back to the building. The protocols tell you that. The NFL regular season starts in 11 days for the Kansas City Chiefs. So even if he was unvaccinated, there'd be a chance that he could come and play, but he wouldn't have practiced for 10 days. You can't tell me, Bill Belichick, that 5 days of Cam Newton being out of that building because he broke the bubble, 5 days you had of Mac Jones taking all the first-team reps, being the lead quarterback in the quarterback room, didn't allow you the comfort level of saying, yeah, this is the guy. I have no doubt because I had him for a week. But he can't say that. And you understand that he can't say that. And yes, on Jacksonville, they pointed out that unvaccinated players did make the team. And I look at the vaccination status for some of these guys. If you're a stud, it's kind of like the guys that have gotten in trouble with the law. If you're a really good football player, we can overlook some things, even though we always say we want high-character guys. But if you're a high-character guy that can get after the quarterback, you're going to make the team. We'll overlook some things. If you're really that good, but if you're an average guy, you're a second-team, third-team guy, and you're unvaccinated, it's going to be awful hard for you to keep your job, especially if you think about 10 days of missing during the regular season. It's going to be very interesting to see how things continue on in the NFL as we get closer to the regular season. You look at the cuts. As for the Cowboys, they did bring a bunch of guys back, and I don't know what it really means. It's one of those, like all the guys they cut, nobody got claimed. So all these guys are coming back to the practice squad, like Darian Thompson, Jaquan Hardy, the star of Hard Knocks. He's coming back. Nick Ralston is the fullback guy that was pulling the semi-truck. He's coming back. He's on the practice squad. Isaac Alcron, and now he's part of that international deal, so there's an exemption for him to be on the practice squad. Tight end Jeremy Sprinkle, who I thought would actually make the team when Sean McKeon got hurt. He's coming back to the practice squad. And as mentioned, Ben DiNucci is back with the Cowboys on the practice squad. They did add running back Corey Clement today. He got released by the Giants. He used to play for the Philadelphia Eagles. Solid special teams guy. And you knew they weren't going to go with just Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. And when Jaquan Hardy just failed to make the cut, and you could see it last night on Hard Knocks. Not the greatest of episodes of Hard Knocks, but maybe the greatest of this series of Hard Knocks with the Dallas Cowboys was just some of the behind the scenes with guys that ultimately ended up on the practice squad, really telegraphing why. And also the meeting where they had to do things virtual. You realize how hard it was last year to do everything virtual. That was like really the first time I have seen what it's like to go through a position meeting on an iPad. That would suck. Credit all the colleges and NFL teams that had to do that last year. And Mike McCarthy, his first year with the staff, to have to try to do everything on Zoom. But you think about last night on Hard Knocks, watching that defensive meeting where they were trying to do things on the iPad. That looks like it would suck big time. Let's talk more college football. Danny Kanell. Yep, that Danny Kanell. He is going to join us next here on the Blitz at San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. You know, Barbecue Outfitters is your homegrown Central Texas owned grill, patio, and fireplace shop, and they're having their end of summer sale now through Labor Day. This is when Barbecue Outfitters closes out any open box or demo grills, and they provide extra good deals on all current inventory. Barbecue Outfitters. They've got double in-store instant rebates on all gas grills, pellet smokers, charcoal grills, outdoor kitchen products, and Polywood patio furniture. They got brands like the Big Green Egg, Weber, Traeger, Yoder, Napoleon, Heston, and more. Great savings to get ready for fall and football season. Barbecue Outfitters, honored to serve the Central Texas region with a local business that began right here 23 years ago. It is the Big Barbecue Outfitters end of summer sale now through Labor Day. So this weekend, get over and see them there. 1604 Chavano Park, right next to the Ridge Shopping Center. You can check their website, bbqoutfitters.com. Now let's get a Sports Center update. James Pleasure pushing all kinds of buttons. You ready to go with Sports Center to tell us how the Rangers blew it again?
I think so. As you mentioned, the Rangers did blow it again. They couldn't finish off the sweep of the Rockies as they went from up 5-0 to leading 5-4 going into the top of the ninth to falling 9-5 eventually. Texas will return to action on Friday when they open up a series in Anaheim with the Angels. The Houston Astros are currently playing their rubber game with the Seattle Mariners up in Seattle, as right now they trail the M's 1-0 in the top of the seventh with the Astros at bat, nobody out. The Astros also added veteran catcher Drew Butera to a minor league deal. The 12-year vet has a .196 average and 19 career homers. The San Antonio Missions played a doubleheader today with the Amarillo Sod Poodles. First pitch from the Wolf was set for 5 this afternoon, and Game 2 will be a makeup from the rainout on July 9th following the game right now. Texas A&M has extended head football coach Jimbo Fisher as they finalized a 4-year extension through the 2031 season worth more than $9 million per. This according to multiple reports, and it makes him second behind only Alabama's Nick Saban as the highest paid coach in college football. I'm James Pleasure for San Antonio Sports Star.
ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 is the phone number. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail. A lot of reasons for that. And you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you really understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. For stress-free bail bonds, your best option is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available. They're open 24/7 to get you out fast. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas, up in Dallas, down in Corpus, in the Valley, everywhere in between. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or online, mybestbailbonds.com.
Great news, Slackers! Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar is now opening at noon 7 days a week at all 4 area locations. North Star, St. Mary's, Slackadoches, and the Medical Center. Slackers is the home for 7-day-a-week happy hour, now starting at noon every day. And by popular demand, Slackers brings back the signature frozen drinks. Bring a date, bring a crew, or come on down solo. Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar serves you up all your favorites and quenches your thirst 7 days a week, starting every day at noon. Visit slackersbarssa.com for more info.
If you're shopping for a new vehicle, you know there's no better place to go than Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram truck. Jason Minix here. I can tell you firsthand because I am a longtime Ancira customer, which is why it's very easy for me to recommend Ancira to you. It's that great customer service they have before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. They're going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with the options and features that you're looking for. They'll give you great value on your trade-in and the best rebates and financing options that are available. And you know price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. If you're having to rework your office, let Hill Electric design your socially distanced space to ensure each workstation has the proper electrical needs. For over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. There is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074, or go to hill-electric.com.
Jason Minix here for Alamo Water Softeners to tell you they have the perfect solution for your family's complete water treatment. The top-of-the-line CareSoft Elite Plus 1 filter is an advanced 2-stage system built to protect your family from harmful contaminants that may be in your water. Save $1,000 on the CareSoft Elite Plus 1 system now through Labor Day while supplies last. Discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference. Go to alamowatersofteners.com. That's alamowatersofteners.com.
Happy Hour is back at Twin Peaks, and we're offering up more than just great drinks. Score yourself some chips and salsa for just $2. Your choice of mozzarella cheese bites, chips and queso, or fried pickles, where they're just $4. And the triple play quesadillas or 6 boneless wings, that's right, only $6. Each of these epic appetizers are craveable, shareable, and delicious. And what a deal. Happy Hour at Twin Peaks just got better. See you Monday through Friday, 2 to 7 p.m. Again at late night. Get to Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
Staples Connect has everything for back to school at amazing prices. Right now, Crayola 12-count colored pencils and 10+2 Crayola marker bonus packs and Bic Round Stick Ballpoint Pen 10 packs are just 97 cents each. So you won't just be ready for school, you'll be Prepared Parent of the Year ready.
I just want to thank my family and Staples for making this possible.
Visit your local Staples store or staples.com/back-to-school today and get more than ready for school. Ends 9/18, limit 30 on Crayola. Bic pens in store only.
This is The Blitz with Jason Minix and the brightest sports insiders. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on a Wednesday afternoon. College football season is here. Let's talk about it. Danny Kanell joining us now, courtesy of Bet Online. Danny, man, I miss hearing you and Ryan on our radio station. It's been a while, but I'm glad you're taking the time now to talk some college football with us.
Yes, I cannot believe it's finally here. We are we had a little sampler platter last weekend, week 0 of college football. We had 5 games, but now starting tomorrow night, Friday night, Saturday, my Seminoles are playing Sunday night, and you have a final cap of the weekend on Monday night. We got all college football, no NFL on. I think it's one of the best weekends of the year. It's Labor Day. There's so many great things about this weekend. I can't wait.
Well, and what's great is we also have some really good matchups, which we didn't always get in week 1, but we get some really good matchups. Now, we're down here in San Antonio. We're going to talk Longhorns and Aggies, and let's start with my Longhorns. First game under Sark. Expectations are always high in Austin. You know that. What are realistic expectations from a global view, not a San Antonio close to Austin view?
No, I love it because I'm very bullish on Steve Sarkisian as the hire. And I think he inherited a really, really solid situation there in Austin. This is a team last year that won 8 games and was a couple minutes away from beating Iowa State. Almost, like a couple possessions away from being undefeated, but then they got out-coached in a lot of those games, which is what led to Tom Herman's exit and why they went out and got Sark. All gas, no brakes. I expect this offense with one of the best running backs in the country, Bijan Robinson, to flourish. Now, we got to figure out the quarterback. Hudson Card, Casey Thompson. I know he said Hudson Card is going to start. I'm worried a little bit that he said that he's still going to play Casey Thompson because that, to me, says neither one has separated themselves. But we do know they're going to be handing that ball to Bijan Robinson, and I think the quarterback will work itself out. But here's the problem. Louisiana is it's probably it's one of the top 2 or 3 group of 5 programs in the country. This is not an easy out. Texas will win. To me, they have no other option but to go and win. But this is a Louisiana team that beat Iowa State last year in their backyard. So they're more than capable of doing it. And then guess what? Then you got to go to Arkansas for a future SEC opponent in Arkansas on the road who's going to be physical. And guess what? Both of these games, guess who thinks you should win those games? And is every Longhorn fan. So and first impressions matter. They matter so much. So Sark needs to get off to a hot start. The good news is I think he does. Now, is he going to beat Oklahoma this year for a Big 12 championship? No. But I do think he'll go over the 8-win total, which is what Bet Online has it set at. I think they'll get 8. I think they could challenge 9 and possibly even 10 wins this year. I think there's that much potential for this roster. If the quarterback excels in Sark's system, then they're off to the races.
Danny Kanell with us here on The Blitz, courtesy of Bet Online. And you talk about being a quarterback, and you played quarterback in the NFL for the Giants and Falcons at Florida State. We certainly know your quarterback resume. How tough is it in a quarterback room where everybody becomes friends, but then you're competing for a job? And then when you don't have a clear-cut winner, and that's kind of the case in Austin, neither Hudson or Casey really separated themselves. I thought Casey Thompson had the edge based on his performance in the second half of the Valero Alamo Bowl last year, but Hudson Card beat him out, at least for this initial job. But is it in the room, how difficult is it when you don't have a clear-cut permanent number one starter?
So in the quarterback room, I don't see it as much of a problem. I've been in a lot of these competitions. I've won some and I've lost some. And you're kind of able to separate, all right, we both know what we both want, which is the ball. We want the ball in our hands on the field. And there's only one. There's only one quarterback. It's the most unique position in the sport. So the opportunity is only there for one guy. But usually, and there are definitely quarterback rooms that are healthier than others, but the most time, they become your buddies. Like, even though you're competing, you're still boys. You're still hanging out a lot of times. You're eating dinner together, maybe going out to the same bars, hanging out with the same group. So you kind of understand it. Now, it's dejecting and it stinks, but it can be a healthy environment where you're rooting for the other quarterback to exceed and, or to succeed. But if he doesn't, I'll be ready to go. And it's a weird dynamic that unfolds. Here's what I think the bigger problem is. Outside of the quarterback room, what does the team think? Like, what are they expecting to get in the fourth quarter when the game is on the line? Who are they looking at in the huddle to bring them down the field? And if they're uncertain about that, that to me is a problem. And if you have two quarterbacks, to me, you have none. Like, that's always been an old adage that I believe, that you have to figure out who your alpha is, who is your captain, who is your quarterback that is going to be under center when it matters the most. And unfortunately for the Longhorns, they really don't have the luxury. Like we were just talking about their schedule. It's a tough slate to start off. They may get a little breather against Rice, but you have to have your quarterback situation figured out sooner rather than later, because if it's a revolving door of quarterbacks throughout the year, it's going to be a long year for the Longhorns.
It certainly is. Danny Kanell with us here on the Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Let's shift gears up to College Station, where Jimbo Fisher, who just got a contract extension, he's getting paid even more now. No doubt he goes Haynes King as the starter. And, Zach Calzada pushed him during camp, but Jimbo named a starting quarterback and said, unless things go bad, King is going to be the guy. And I think for the Aggies, it's exactly what they needed. This is going to be a good football team this year.
I think so, too. And they have a couple things going for them. So they're almost the exact opposite of Texas when you talk about the schedule, because, we talk about Texas. They're going Louisiana, Arkansas, back-to-back, tricky opponents. You're supposed to win, but they're not easy outs. The Aggies, they got Kent State. Colorado's a Pac-12 opponent, but Texas A&M should blow them out. Then they have New Mexico. Then they get Arkansas at home. Then they get Mississippi State. So that is 5 games that they should be able to win, even if the quarterback is struggling early on. Their defense is that good with the talent they have on that side of the ball. But they can iron out the quarterback. They can get Haynes King up to speed. They can work in a new offensive line so that when October 9th hits, when the Crimson Tide can roll into College Station, you would expect the Aggies there to be 5-0, undefeated, with a quarterback who's been able to kind of get his feet wet, maybe make some mistakes against some of those games early where they don't hurt as much, so that they go against Alabama. Of all the teams that I'm looking at that are like championship caliber, I think Texas A&M has the best value out of all of them. 22-1 odds for them to win the national championship. I would not mind taking a flyer at those. Now, it's hard to picture, all right, well, how Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State, those are all the teams that are sort of chalky. But if you want to take a little bit more of a flyer with a team that was so close to getting in the playoff last year, I love the Aggies. And I think Haynes King is going to be a stud there in College Station. He runs like a 4.4. I think Jimbo will utilize some of his athleticism. And I think this is going to be a really, really tough team this year.
And again, Jimbo's got to use what he offers, and otherwise, why name him the starting quarterback? So you expect that from Jimbo Fisher. As Danny Kanell is with us here, courtesy of Bet Online, and I saw Bet Online has A&M win total at 9.5. I think I'd take the over on that one.
I absolutely would. I already have recommended that a couple different places. A couple tricky spots for me. Alabama's one that you're like, all right, even though it feels good, like that's a game you probably have to chalk up as a loss, even though I do think this is the year they get them. But then there's like the hiccup games. Like after they play Alabama, they travel to Missouri. So this is dangerous for two reasons. One, if they lose the game against Alabama, we know what that means to the Aggies. It's the Super Bowl of the season. You don't want to get beat twice by Alabama, which has happened to other programs. But there's also a tricky caveat in there, too. If they beat Alabama and they're flying on cloud nine thinking, hey, we just punched our ticket to the playoff, there's a chance that they overlook Missouri, it's like a tricky spot. Then they have a road game in Oxford against Ole Miss that is tricky because of Ole Miss's offense and what they could do with Lane Kiffin. And then probably the biggest unknown in the SEC to me is LSU, who the Aggies have to play in Baton Rouge. But even with those three potential slip-up games, I still think they get two of them. So I like the over win total for the Aggies as well.
Danny Kanell joining us here on the Blitz. Is there a team out there that nobody's talking about that you think could surprise some people?
So it's funny because I talk about college football living. So all I'm doing is talking about teams constantly. But I do think there's some teams that are flying under the radar and almost perennially are flying under the radar. Wisconsin out of the Big Ten, who is a 50-1 long shot to win the national championship because Ohio State is getting the bulk of the attention from the Big Ten. And if you ask any college football analyst who's going to win the Big Ten, you would say Ohio State. You'd be crazy to say anybody else. But here's the thing. Wisconsin plays in the West, so they dodge Ohio State in the regular season. They don't have to play them. Their schedule is pretty manageable, so you could see a scenario. By the way, they're one of the best games this weekend at noon on Fox against Penn State, which they're a 5.5-point favorite, and I do think they win that game. But I think they could beat Notre Dame at home. I think they beat Michigan. I think they beat Iowa. I'm like every game I look at, I could see them winning. And then it comes down to one shot against Ohio State. Now, Ohio State probably would be a heavy favorite in that game. But in a one-game scenario, that if you get past that, you kind of catch some fire with a quarterback in Graham Mertz, who was the most athletic quarterback Wisconsin had at Russell Wilson, I don't mind that for a long shot odds.
I'm biased because my daughter's going to grad school there now. I think Arizona State's on course to have a sneaky good season.
I love it. And I think they're a great pick they're 100-1 to win the national championship. Some of these long shots on the national championship, I would not put too much on them because we've seen chalk win out. But Arizona State absolutely could win the Pac-12. And they were going to be a trendy pick to win the Pac-12 this year before they ran into some of these violations that they had during the COVID lockdown for recruiting. And it's a really nasty situation on that staff with some disgruntled former coaches kind of called out the program and had a bunch of evidence of pictures of recruits being on campus during the dead period. So 3 assistant coaches at Arizona State are on leave right now while this investigation goes on. And I think it's hurt Arizona State and kind of the discussion around them. But I was at Florida State when I had the Free Shoes University scandal, right? At Foot Locker, we get free shoes. And the NCAA came around. By the way, I did not get any free shoes, although it was only because I wasn't starting at the time. I definitely would have been getting them. But I did not. I was not a starter at the time, so I'm still kind of bitter about that. But we used it to kind of galvanize us. Like we came together. It's us against the world, and everyone thinks we're cheating, but it doesn't impact the product on the field. I could see a scenario where Arizona State has a season where they rally around Herm Edwards and they take an us versus the world approach. And they got a quarterback in Jaden Daniels who is as dynamic as they come out there and is his third year as the starter. I would expect another jump and improvement for him. So I like the Sun Devils.
Yeah, I like Jaden and some of the receivers they have. They're there at the skill positions. And again, I'm paying attention to them mainly because my daughter's there. But man, nobody's talking about them nationally, and I think they got a chance to be really, really good. Danny Kanell, always fun to catch up, talk a little college football with you, courtesy of Bet Online. Now we'll do it again soon.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy all the games.
Absolutely. Danny Kanell here on the Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Pledge, I saw you put somebody scrolled in, and we'll talk about it coming up, thinking the Longhorns are going to be a 6-win season.
Or less.
All right. Hey, look, I'm not sure if that's a Longhorn fan or not. The way he wrote it makes him seem like he's a Longhorn fan. He just sounds like an Aggie I know named Rob Thompson, who you might listen to on R&R in the morning from 7 to 10. As an Aggie fan, they just don't know how to handle nice things, so they always want to be negative about it. So when good things happen, they feel really good about it. But if they're overthinking it and bad things happen, it doesn't wreck them. I mean, that's a mentality. Rob calls it battered Aggie syndrome. I didn't know UT had such a thing, but apparently at least one of them does.
Oh, okay. I thought you were insinuating that Rob had a burner YouTube account.
Or maybe Rob has a burner account. I mean, we'll just start calling him Kevin Durant. All I know is this weekend is going to be a great weekend of college football. There's football Wednesday tonight. There's football tomorrow. Arizona State playing on the Pac-12 network. You got UIW playing tomorrow. That's on ESPN+. Then you look at some of the games this weekend and big-time matchups on Saturday. That Georgia-Clemson game, 6:30 on Saturday night, that's going to be a hell of a football game. You look at all the games, Alabama and Miami, that's a 2:30 game. Penn State and Wisconsin at 11 a.m. All I'm telling you is you need to get to the Rue Pub early, get a table, and stay late watching college football, having your fantasy draft, because you know there is no better place to watch a game in San Antonio than over at the Rue Pub at 281 and Redland Road. And you think about those three massive 170-inch TVs they have in there. Well, they just replaced the projectors in there with these new laser projectors. Dude, they are sick. The viewing was great. It's now even better. I'm not sure how they did it, but they have. And not only is it a great place to go watch a game, the best place to go watch a game. If it wasn't a great bar, it'd be a great restaurant. Their food is incredible. Their wings, fantastic. Best in town, biggest in town for sure. All made from scratch. They got 15 different burgers on the menu, great salads, great apps, and the kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu. So if you've been out doing something else and you're looking for a place to go and you don't want to get your food out of a bag coming through a window, get over to Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road, and have yourself a good meal late. Whether you're lunch, dinner, late at night, or there to watch a game, have a fantasy draft like we're doing this weekend, no better place than Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road. They have happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. The Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road, next to the Angry Elephant. We will see you at the Rue.
We've got your free tickets to see every Dallas Cowboys home game all season long. Register to win now at sasportstar.com. Cheer on America's team on your home for Cowboys football. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Jason Minix here for my friends at Kia Bossa Smoked Meats. And you know, it's football season. You're going to fire up the grill. You're going to put sausage on that grill. Well, no game day is complete without sausage, and no better sausage than Kia Bossa sausage. Hot off the grill, right into a flour tortilla, good sausage wrap to watch some football in it. You know, here's a little hint, little secret. You know, this is that good intel when you're sitting at the bar telling friends. Kia Bossa family, you know, the company was started here in San Antonio in 1949. They selected the length of their sausage so it will fit perfectly in a tortilla. It doesn't get more San Antonio than that. You know, if you're wondering why some sausages are this or that length, yeah, it's because they're not thinking like San Antonio's think, because you know you're going to turn that into a great sausage wrap. A tortilla-friendly sausage, the best sausage you're going to find at the grocery store. Kia Bossa, it's football season. Get a cold beverage of your choice, some Kia Bossa, some tortillas, and enjoy some football. You're heading into the grocery store, make sure you get some Kia Bossa today.
Hey folks, Bob with Barbecue Outfitters, your homegrown grill, patio, and fireplace shop. We're having our 2-week end of summer sale now through Labor Day. This is when Barbecue Outfitters closes out any open box or demo grills and provides extra good deals on all current inventory. Barbecue Outfitters is your Central Texas original grill store with double in-store rebates on all gas grills, pellet smokers, charcoal grills, outdoor kitchen products, and Pollywood patio furniture. Brands like the Big Green Egg, Weber, Traeger, Yoder, Napoleon, Heston, and more. Great savings to get ready for the fall and everyone's favorite, the football season. Barbecue Outfitters is honored to serve the Central Texas region with a local business that began right here 23 years ago. The Barbecue Outfitters end of summer sale on 1604 at Chavano Park next to the Ridge Shopping Center and at barbecueoutfitters.com. Come and see us.
If you need 2,000 or tens of thousands of square feet for your office, warehouse, or retail space, we can help. The last thing you want to do is overpay the landlord. I'm Scott McMurrian, Bottom Line Realty Advisors here in San Antonio, and we work with business people like you who want to have an effective strategy for their next real estate decision, whether it's leasing space or buying a building. Your landlord has representation, and you should too. Even if you're a good tenant with no plans to move at all, you're the most vulnerable to getting a really bad deal. Here at Bottom Line Realty Advisors, we only represent you, not landlords. If you're rethinking your office, retail, or warehouse lease, we'll help you negotiate from a position of strength.
Having Bottom Line Realty on your side doesn't cost you a dime. Contact Bottom Line Realty Advisors at 210-535-7800 and tell them Dave sent you.
Bottom Line Realty Advisors. We get the landlord off your bottom line.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Do you have your tickets yet for week 1 of college football? What are you waiting for? You only have a few days left to snag tickets to the Good Sam Texas Kickoff featuring the Texas Tech Red Raiders and the University of Houston Cougars at NRG Stadium on Saturday, September 4th. Kickoff is at 6 p.m. Don't miss your chance to start the 2021 season live in Houston. Get back to tailgating, touchdowns, and cheering on your team with your fellow football fanatics. Reserve your seats today at GoodSamTexasKickoff.com. That's GoodSamTexasKickoff.com.
Golfers, it's time to tee it up at the reopening of Edwin Watts. We've weathered the storm, and now we're open. Come visit our newly remodeled store featuring GC quads in every hitting bay. Check out the new arrivals from all the top brands like Ping, TaylorMade, Titleist, and Callaway. Edwin Watts has the largest selection of shoes, bags, balls, apparel, and more in stock. Swing by our newly remodeled store and get custom fit for free today. Edwin Watts is the home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you cooked on the grill or smoker, and you can win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market. Grilling with the Blitz. Online at sasportstar.com.
Hey, it's Keyshawn Johnson with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin on San Antonio's Sports Star, ESPN AM, 1250 and 94.5 FM.
You know, you heard a big voice guy talking about winning stuff, grilling with the Blitz. You definitely want to do that. You want to win something right now? We've got tickets to give away for the Good Sam Texas Kickoff coming up. Was that game Saturday? NRG Stadium down there in Houston. The Houston Cougars against the Texas Tech Red Raiders. 656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to dial up the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. Now, Pledge, this is the last pair of tickets we have to give away for this, right?
We got 2 pairs. We have this one, and there's the one that you can go online and register for at sasportstar.com.
Okay, so this is the last pair we're giving away on the Blitz. So we're not just going to do random caller. We want to make sure it's going to a fan of the school, of either school. It could be a Texas Tech fan. It could be a Houston Cougar fan. 656-ESPN, 656-3776. Pledge will line up the phone lines, and we'll get to them here in a moment. You want to win tickets? Go down to Houston this weekend. Enjoy some college football live in person for the Good Sam Texas Kickoff. Get on the phone lines now. 656-ESPN, 656-3776. Speaking of Texas Tech, They're doing anything they can to get people to come to their games. They're bringing Shaq in. DJ Diesel for their home opener on September 11th. Shaq is going to be performing in Raider Alley, and it's free for all fans. I wonder how much money they had to give Shaquille O'Neal to fly out to Lubbock, Texas. I mean, I imagine Shaq's appearance fee is pretty big to begin with, but then you add in you got to go to Lubbock. Does it double the cost? I mean, you got to make it worth his while to show up in Lubbock. So be interesting to see Shaq there in Lubbock getting a chance to DJ. Speaking of the NBA, interesting tweet earlier today from Sham Charania, and it has to do with vaccines in the NBA. Unvaccinated NBA players in markets that have local requirements, they will not be allowed to enter home arenas or facilities for games or team activities unless there's an approved medical or religious exemption. Now, either a lot of NBA players are going to change their religious beliefs, or these teams are going to have to work with these cities. Could you imagine your home games you can't go to? And right now there's two markets in the NBA, New York City and San Francisco, that require vaccination cards to go into places. I was in San Francisco this past weekend, and to go into a restaurant, to go into a bar, you had to show your card. And now they're saying if you're a player, you want to come into the building, you're going to have to do it. In Los Angeles, you can go to a restaurant or bar without showing your card, but you couldn't go to the Foo Fighters concert inside the Forum without showing the card. It's interesting. And by the way, it wasn't a big pain in the ass. I was expecting it to be a pain in the ass, and it wasn't. It was actually a very simple and smooth process. The interesting thing, if it ever comes to that in Texas, and since we have Governor Abbott, it won't. You show your card, but they actually checked your ID to make sure you were actually showing your card. But it's going to be interesting. You imagine the NBA is trying to figure out in San Francisco and New York how they'll be able to get their players in their buildings for home games if they are unvaccinated. I wonder if it's just going to end up being daily tests. I don't know what San Francisco is like if you tried to go to a restaurant or a bar and you didn't have a card. I know for the Foo Fighters concert in Los Angeles, their requirement was show your card or a negative test within 48 hours. I imagine the NBA will work something out with these cities of San Francisco and New York, because I don't know what star players vaccinated with those two teams and which ones aren't. But I would imagine it would cause some issues if say, a star player, or hell, any player for that matter, hey, man, home game, you can't come because you don't have your shot. You know the NBA is going to fix that. Or like I said, a bunch of players are going to develop new religions between now and the start of the NBA season. Think about it, man. We're in September now. Training camp is like 2.5 weeks away for the NBA. We're just getting to football season. All right, Pledge, I see the lines are all stacked. If you've got a line, you want to win Texas Tech Houston tickets, Pledge is telling me we got to take a break. Stay on hold, and we will figure out a way to give away those tickets coming up in just a couple of minutes. You know, it's amazing that we're talking about the NBA season starting training camp. College football starts this week, and the NFL is a week away. You need to play fantasy football online at UnderdogFantasy.com. It is the best place to play fantasy sports online. They have daily and season-long fantasy sports, the NFL best ball format, which is easy to play, no waivers, no trades. You just draft a team, set it, and forget it. They've got contests for the 2021 NFL season already live, including their Best Ball Mania 2 tournament, which is the largest tournament in all of fantasy football. Only $25 to enter, $3.5 million in total prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code RADIO. Make your first deposit and receive a free $25 in bonus cash. Visit UnderdogFantasy.com or find them in the App Store. Register with promo code RADIO to get $25 cash for free with your first deposit. Download the app today. Start playing today. Don't forget promo code RADIO at sign up. And if you don't like it, they guarantee your money back up to $100. Terms and conditions do apply. Download the app or play online. UnderdogFantasy.com.
It's that time. Buses, school zone, study hall, and the classroom. It's back to school. And to make it special, you have the chance to win $1,000 in San Antonio Sports Stars Back to School giveaway. $500 for you, and $500 to donate to your school. No way. Register now at sasportstar.com. Powered by Aguero's Automotive Paint and Supplies. Good luck from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's back to school time, so here's a lesson in big wireless hype. Flashy phone sales usually don't add up to actual savings. Graduate to Straight Talk Wireless. You can keep your phone, number, and 5G network. And for a limited time, get double the data for just $35 a month, all on America's best 5G networks. Keep your phone, lower your bill. It's a no-brainer. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. Requires a compatible unlocked phone and Straight Talk KYOP kit. Double data ends 10/30/21. Standard 5 GB high-speed data on $35 plans redeemed thereafter. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. So 82% of you listening will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. 82% of you will note that if you're hiring, ZipRecruiter finds qualified people for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And 82% of you will remember that you can try ZipRecruiter for free, but you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Now's the time to get a great deal on Kubota construction equipment, featuring durable Kubota engines, more comfort, more productivity, more get it done right. The Kubota construction lineup shows up ready to work every day. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 48 months, or save up to $7,000. Now through September 30th, 2021. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Are you looking for a job where you can have tons of fun and make great money? Twin Peaks is the team for you. We're looking for Twin Peaks girls, cooks, bussers, barbacks, and more. Text WORK4TP to 85000 to apply. That's WORK, the number 4, TP to 85000 to apply.
Golfers, it's time to tee it up at the reopening of Edwin Watts. We've weathered the storm, and now we're open. Come visit our newly remodeled store featuring GC quads in every hitting bay. Check out the new arrivals from all the top brands like Ping, TaylorMade, Titleist, and Callaway. Edwin Watts has the largest selection of shoes, bags, balls, apparel, and more in stock. Swing by our newly remodeled store and get custom fit for free today. Edwin Watts is the home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Live, local, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Glad to have you along on a Wednesday. I'm Jason Minix. Tomorrow, we're going to be live out at Texas Cheer Liquor Store on Palo Alto Road, right there next to the Walmart down there. It's in the Patron Plaza. I think it's appropriately named. Come see us tomorrow at Texas Cheer. We'll be broadcasting the Blitz live from 4 to 7 tomorrow. Coming up at 6:30, Clint Stoerner is going to join us. We'll talk a lot of NFL football, maybe even touch on pledges Houston Texans. But we've got some tickets we're giving away for the Good Sam Texas kickoff. Houston against Texas Tech, NRG Stadium in Houston this weekend. Let's see, Hector, Troy, Danny, Travis, appreciate all 4 of you guys holding on through the break. We only have 4 lines, and none of them dropped off. So we're going to take them in the order in which Pledge says you called in to see if you've got a chance to win these tickets. We've got high-level trivia coming your way. So if I don't go to you first, don't hang up. There's a good chance Hector's not going to get the right answer. But Hector joins us first here on the Blitz on the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines. What's up, Hector?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. So You are a Texas Tech fan.
Yes.
Did you go to Tech?
No, just a fan.
All right, I didn't know that those existed. Didn't go there, but somehow I'm a fan. I'm impressed with that. You were that kid in school that said, "Well, everybody is an Aggie or a Longhorn fan, so I'm going to go Texas Tech."
Yeah, I'm that guy.
You're that guy. All right, you want to win tickets to these games? What was Texas Tech's record last year? Hector.
8-6.
8-6. Wow. Not even close, man. They were nowhere near an 8-win team, Hector. But I appreciate your diehard fandom there for Texas Tech. 8 wins for Tech. Talk about dreaming. All right, let's move on to Troy. Troy, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. You're a Tech fan?
I am a Tech fan. Grew up in Lubbock.
You grew up in Lubbock. Interesting.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
shame I'm not going to ask any landmark questions.
We should give
for
him
Lubbock.
the tickets just for growing up in Lubbock.
Yeah,
You
but
can
he
see your
survived and
dog
got
running
away.
for days.
Absolutely. You know, it's funny. When I did Iguanas hockey, our bus driver used to say that when we'd go into Wichita, Kansas, it's the only place in the world you could watch your dog run away for 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Lubbock is not that far off. Who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Red Raiders this year?
It's Show.
Joe, and where did he transfer in from? It's a 2-part question.
Oh, it's Show. He transferred from oh my goodness. Was it Missouri? Can't remember where he transferred in from. Actually,
No.
you know what? No, it wasn't. It was Oregon. I'm sorry.
Are you sure? Who told you that? Who whispered into your ear?
Nobody. I'm in my car by myself.
You,
truthfully, so.
Troy, nobody confuses Missouri and Oregon without getting a little bit of help, man. Let's be honest.
No, I am honest. I'm sitting right here by myself. I actually pulled off the side of the road so I wouldn't swerve into somebody.
Oh, man, that's friendly and kind of you. We'll go to the judges on this. Pledge, Edwin, what do you think? Does Troy win the tickets, or do we put him on hold and see if Danny's got a chance?
Well, Danny's a Houston fan, so he says, but
yeah,
Tyler
my
Shaw
Houston
did
question-
go to Oregon, although I
Yeah,
did shake my head when he said Missouri at first.
I want to penalize
I get
you.
extra credit for growing up there, don't I?
No, but you lost it by going Missouri. That's like a double 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct. All right, Troy, hang on. I haven't decided yet what we're gonna do because my Houston trivia question is actually pretty hard. And if Danny's able to get this, then I think we'll go with Danny. Danny, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing fantastic. So you're a Houston Cougar fan, huh?
Yes, sir. I'm a sports fan. Yes, sir.
All right. So this is kind of a tough question.
Oh, man. Let me have it. Let me see.
All right. And you claim to be a Houston Cougar fan. So it's going to be multi-steps. I just want to test your fandom real quick. Who is their head football coach?
Who is their head football coach? Major Applewhite?
Major Applewhite? Are you kidding? Honestly, are you kidding? At one point, Major was the head coach there, but he's not any longer.
Shoot. Well, then you got me there.
All right, Danny, appreciate the effort there. Do we give Travis a shot, or would he go back to Troy? Let's talk to Travis real quick. Travis, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Howdy, y'all. What's up?
All right, Travis, you're a Texas Tech fan?
Yes, sir. My dad went to Tech, and, I've unfortunately been a Tech fan my whole life.
Well, dude, I mean, there's as long as your dad went there, that's good reason. How well do you know your Houston Cougar trivia questions?
Not as much as I know Tech.
Well, who is the head coach at Houston?
It's Danny Holgerson. He came over from West Virginia.
Well, his name's not Danny. The
Dan
Holgerson is right. Yeah, Dana is.
Okay.
So my question is, there is a coach in San Antonio that's part of the Dana Holgerson tree. Who is it?
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's Jeff Taylor because I don't think he came from West Virginia or Houston. And I want to say it's Taylor, but
it is not Jeff Traylor.
Yeah, I figured it wasn't. I could not tell you, man. Is it a coordinator? I have shown it's a
No.
coordinator.
No, head coach in San Antonio. Travis, appreciate your effort.
Is it Eric
Yeah,
Morris?
it is Eric Morris.
I knew it was.
Eric Morris.
But you're and Horgerson.
Exactly. And Eric Morris talked about that yesterday on the Blitz. But Travis, you're over the buzzer, man, because I was already giving that answer away. So I think we've got to go back to Troy on line 2 with the sympathy win here. You overcame a 3rd and 15 after that 15-yard penalty, and you score yourself a couple of tickets, man.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
All right. Did you know the Eric Morris answer, by the way?
Say that again?
Would you have known the Eric Morris answer?
I probably would not have known that. No, wouldn't have known that one.
All right. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it sucks for Travis. But, Troy, man, you get those tickets. Enjoy the game down in Houston this weekend. It should be a good time.
Sounds great. I appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
All right. Hang on. Pledge has to get some info from you so we can get those tickets to you. And you think about the college football this weekend is going to be phenomenal. Eric Morris and UIW, they do play tomorrow night. Should be a good game for them as they're on the road against Youngstown State. Eric Morris will join us every week on the Blitz on Thursdays, although this week, because they play on Thursday, he joined us on Tuesday. Clint Stoerner will join us coming up about 6:30. There is some Cowboys news to get into. Speaking of West Virginia, former West Virginia quarterback Will Grier is now a member of the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys claimed him off of waivers. Will Grier got released by the Carolina Panthers. But the reason I said yesterday on the Blitz, and if you were listening, you probably weren't surprised when you saw that the Cowboys picked up Will Grier. When he was at the University of Florida, he was playing for Doug Nussmeier, who is now the Cowboys quarterback coach. And he had success, a lot of success with Nussmeier as his coach. Now, there was some stuff that went on at Florida. He ended up transferring to West Virginia. If you're a Longhorn fan, you know what that dude did to you in Austin. I know what he did to me. I'm still mad at him, but now he's got a star in his helmet, so I could root for him a little bit. But you look at the idea of Will Grier getting added by the Cowboys, who also added a running back today in Corey Clement, who continues to take a tour of the NFC East team. He was with the Giants and with the Philadelphia Eagles. Solid running back, but more importantly, a special teams type that's going to help the Cowboys out. But you knew they were going to add a running back because they weren't going to start with just Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott as the running backs. But when I look at Will Grier getting picked up, and I know a lot of people want Cam Newton because you know Cam Newton's name and you know what he can do. And if something were to happen to Dak, I think we would all want Cam Newton to be the guy coming off the bench. We certainly aren't going to be overly comfortable with Cooper Rush. And quite frankly, I'm not sure about Will Grier. But what I do like is the Cowboys, by picking up Grier today, are saying we're not 100% comfortable with our quarterback room outside of Dak Prescott. They wanted Garrett Gilbert to win the job. We talked all summer about, is it going to be Gilbert? Did he play well enough in that one game against Pittsburgh? The fact that they didn't address backup quarterback throughout the offseason. And after a couple of preseason games, you're looking at, well, could they go get a Josh Rosen? Could they go get a this guy? What about that guy? And a lot of those guys, it's because you know their names. We know Josh Rosen hasn't done much, but he's there. But could Josh Rosen do what Mitchell Trubisky is doing this year in Buffalo? Go rehab yourself. That's what Jameis Winston did. Cam Newton, is he going to do that? But Cam Newton's not vaccinated. And I think being unvaccinated is going to make it very difficult for Cam Newton to go find a job. Just the protocols just make it tough. And there's other situations in probably more of a dire need to upgrade their backup quarterback situation than the Dallas Cowboys. That might be surprising, but there are other situations worse at backup quarterback than the Dallas Cowboys. But I like the fact that the Cowboys went and found somebody. They bring in somebody that Nussmeier knows and a guy that had success with Nussmeier. I mean, this was a quarterback in Will Grier who was drafted in the 3rd round out of West Virginia. Now, He's been in a couple of NFL games, and quite frankly, it was ugly. It was right after Ron Rivera had been fired in Carolina. He got into a couple games. It was just flat out ugly. But a fresh start, a system you're familiar with, a coach that believes in you is there. Because I don't know that there is that true belief in Cooper Rush. And by going to get Will Grier, I think that proves it. It also proves that the Cowboys know, despite what Jerry Jones said yesterday, they're not completely sold on Cooper Rush as QB2. Now, with his knowledge of the Kellen Moore system, that does give him an upper hand. But they're creating more competition for Cooper Rush. And I think, quite frankly, they're surprised they're in this boat. Because all their actions in the offseason indicated that Garrett Gilbert was the planned on backup quarterback to Dak Prescott. And Garrett Gilbert didn't get the job done. Cooper Rush won it with his consistent play throughout the offseason and certainly throughout the preseason. Bunch of guys for the Cowboys that got released didn't get picked up by other teams. I don't know if that's good or bad. You know the old saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure. When you cut a bunch of guys and nobody comes and gets them, makes you wonder about your trash. But Darian Thompson on the Cowboys practice squad. The star of Hard Knocks, Jaquan Hardy, he's back on the practice squad. So is Sprinkles. Ben DiNucci, he continues to have a job. I don't know why Ben DiNucci continues to have a job. He must have the best breakfast spot in Dallas to bring to that quarterback room, and it's keeping him around. But I will tell you, as I joke about Ben DiNucci, watching him in practice, I understand why the Cowboys keep him around as a project. Watching him in practice, I haven't seen it in the game, and based on what I've seen in the preseason games, I would cut the guy and move on. But I do understand why the Cowboys continue to keep him around. You know, if you were watching Hard Knocks last night, that Prescott Pylon game, you know who wins that just about every time? Ben DiNucci. His accuracy on a practice field with no rush and nobody around him is pretty incredible. That doesn't mean squat. But I do understand why they continue to keep him around. He's a good scout team quarterback for the other people. Mobile, athletic, he can give them a variety of looks. But he is on the practice squad. For the people that continue to ask about Cam Newton, a couple of things with Cam. I'd be surprised if he is signed this week. Because as a veteran, if he gets signed and is on a week 1 roster, which I believe is Tuesday, his salary for the year is fully guaranteed. So I do think if Cam Newton gets a job, it is going to come after the first regular season game. I do also think that the Cowboys, like every other team, is going to gauge interest to see if he's willing to be a backup quarterback. And are you willing to get a shot? Because if you don't get vaccinated, you're increasing your chances of not being available when called upon. And I think that's going to be the case with a lot of teams that are interested in Cam Newton. Unless there's a starting job that comes open, do you want your backup quarterback to be an at-risk player? It's one of those fine lines. Now, I don't know if the Cowboys can say, hey, man, get a shot, get a job. Or any NFL team can say, get a shot, get a job. Because you think about Urban Meyer, who is finding his way into the world of the NFL. And I did think it was a little interesting on Hard Knocks. You heard Urban Meyer talking to Mike McCarthy after the game about, yeah, you know, this NFL thing's different. Had to make a recruiting call. It's just football. It's good stuff. No fun. All that's true. But there are some rules. So yesterday, Urban Meyer was asked about vaccinated players.
Could you share with us whether a vaccinated versus unvaccinated player had an impact on a roster decision?
Everyone was considered. That was part of the production? What's his, let's start talking about this. And then also, is he vaccinated or not? Can I say that was a decision maker? It was certainly in consideration.
It was in consideration. That's a good gray line. I didn't say, yeah, dude, we cut this guy. But the NFLPA is investigating. The Jaguars have released a statement saying, blah, blah, blah. They're covering their ass. That's what they need to do. Well, then you go to Cam Newton. You cannot tell me that being unvaccinated did not factor in to the Patriots' decision to move on from Cam Newton. At least a little bit. Because of his situation of being unvaccinated, Cam Newton broke the bubble while he never tested positive in a quote-unquote misunderstanding of the rules. Cam Newton missed 5 days of training camp. That was 5 days of Mac Jones getting all the first-team reps, 5 days of Mac Jones being the lead dog in the quarterback meetings, and 5 days of Josh McDaniels and the quarterback coach and Bill Belichick deciding were they comfortable enough with Mac Jones being their starting quarterback. 5 days later, Bill Belichick's dropping little, the smoke signals that were there. Well, Bill knew what Urban Meyer said. He knew that Urban Meyer was getting into a little bit of trouble. So when Bill Belichick, who talked today for the first time since Cam Newton was released, of course was asked, being unvaccinated, did that cost Cam his job?
Did Cam's vaccination status have anything to do with him being released?
No.
Of course not. Nothing. Not at all. No.
No. I mean, look, you guys keep talking about that. And, I would just point out that I don't know what the number is. I mean, you guys can look it up. You have the access to a lot of information. But the number of players and coaches and staff members that have been infected by COVID in this training camp who have been vaccinated is a pretty high number.
All right. So Coach,
wouldn't lose sight of that.
Yeah, we're not going to lose sight of that. The NFL releases the numbers. From August 1st to the 21st, which was the last release of numbers from the NFL, 68 players and staff tested positive out of 7,190 tests. The rate of positive test among unvaccinated NFL personnel was 7 times higher than the rate of positive test among vaccinated personnel. So when you look at the numbers in the NFL, if you're not vaccinated, there is a 7 times more likely that you're gonna come down with COVID, right? The big part, though, is the protocols. If you're unvaccinated and you test positive, you're out at least 10 days, regardless. If you're vaccinated, all you have to do is pass 2 negative tests or have 2 negative tests taken 24 hours apart. So if you're unvaccinated, you're out at least 10 days. The NFL season starts in 11 days. Tyrann Mathieu tested positive today. By all accounts, he is fully vaccinated. He gets a couple of negative tests. He's going to be ready to go for the opener. If he was unvaccinated, he would be eligible to come back if he showed the negative test. But after missing 10 days of practice, how effective is he going to be in a game? If you're the backup quarterback and you test positive and you're unvaccinated and you're missing 10 days, think about that. That's why I think it's going to be difficult for Cam Newton or any player that isn't vaccinated to get a backup job somewhere. And if I'm a backup in the NFL and I know the starter is unvaccinated, I'm getting a shot. Because the chances are I'm going to get to play because he's going to miss probably 2 games if he tests positive. Now, the Cowboys still have a handful of guys on the COVID list waiting to get those guys back activated. The Cowboys don't really have to do anything until they come back to practice, which is going to be tomorrow. But Dan Quinn, who missed 2 games, he was back in the building today. So that's good news. for the Cowboy fans. Let's talk more NFL with our good buddy Clint Stoerner. He joins us next here on the Blitz. You know, in San Antonio, we have some of the hardest water in the country. Jason Minnick's here for Alamo Water Softeners. They're a great locally owned, family-run business by the Townsends. In fact, I've had a water softener in my home from Alamo Water Softeners for about a decade. They have the perfect solution for your family's complete water treatment, and it's a Labor Day special. Right now, you can save $1,000 on the CareSoft Elite Plus 1 system through Labor Day. This filter system is an advanced 2-stage system that is built to protect your family from harmful contaminants that may be in your water. And that's why you want to call Alamo Water Softeners and have them come out to your house. Have them test your water because some chemicals and contaminants are undetectable. Alamo Water Softeners provides the best value for the highest quality water treatment. That's why they were voted a 2020 neighborhood favorite on the Nextdoor app. Take advantage of their Labor Day special now. Save $1,000 on that CareSoft Elite Plus 1 system. Discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference. Go to alamowatersofteners.com. That's alamowatersofteners.com. Let's get a Sports Center update from James Pleasure as soon as he pushes all the right buttons.
You got it, Jason. Taking a look at Major League Baseball, the Houston Astros currently trail the Seattle Mariners by a score of 1-0 in the top of the 9th inning with 2 out and 2 on. As we'll keep an eye on that for you, the Texas Rangers couldn't finish off their sweep of the Colorado Rockies earlier today as they went from leading 5-0 to going to 5-4 in the top of the 9th to falling 9-5. They'll return to action on Friday when they open up a series in Anaheim with the Angels. The San Antonio Missions are playing a doubleheader today with the Amarillo Sod Poodles. The Dallas Cowboys claim quarterback Will Grier off waivers from the Carolina Panthers, and they also added Ben DiNucci, Darian Thompson, Jaquan Hardy, Nick Ralston, tight end Jeremy Sprinkle, and offensive lineman Isaac Alicorn, signing them all to the practice squad, according to reports. Well, finally, in college football, the Texas A&M Aggies and head coach Jimbo Fisher have finalized a 4-year extension that runs through 2031, worth reportedly more than $9 million per season. This, according to multiple reports, and it makes him the second highest nationally paid coach behind Alabama's Nick Saban. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
If you're having issues at the house with your plumbing or your AC, you know there's one company to call, and that is Quarterboon Plumbing, Heating, and AC, 210-651-5899. Another hot day today. If you come home and your house is 78, 80, 85, whatever it might be, you got a problem, 210-651-5899, 24 hours a day. Plumbing issues, AC issues. At Quarter Moon, they are full service. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked. They got all the equipment needed for any job. At Quarter Moon, they do not have commissioned sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions. They have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quarter Moon, they are green certified. 210-651-5899 is the phone number. 651-5899. Or online, quartermoonplumbing.com. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Score points with some of the boldest keto-friendly, protein-packed, and low-carb snacks out there. And with their new Southern Recipe Small Batch 6-bag variety pack, you'll get to choose a different flavored pork rind every time. Find Southern Recipe Small Batch at your local H-E-B, and you'll always have pork rinds ready to go. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
Hey folks, Bob with Barbecue Outfitters, your homegrown grill, patio, and fireplace shop. We're having our 2-week end of summer sale now through Labor Day. This is when Barbecue Outfitters closes out any open box or demo grills and provides extra good deals on all current inventory. Barbecue Outfitters is your Central Texas original grill store with double in-store rebates on all gas grills, pellet smokers, charcoal grills, outdoor kitchen products, and Pollywood patio furniture. Brands like the Big Green Egg, Weber, Traeger, Yoder, Napoleon, Heston, and more. Great savings to get ready for the fall and everyone's favorite, the football season. Barbecue Outfitters is honored to serve the Central Texas region with a local business that began right here 23 years ago. The Barbecue Outfitters end the summer sale on 1604 at Chavano Park next to the Ridge Shopping Center and at barbecueoutfitters.com. Come and see us.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Yeah! Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Have you started developing COVID-19 symptoms, or have you tested positive within the last 5 days? Local doctors are now enrolling volunteers for a COVID-19 clinical study. This study is for those who have had a positive COVID-19 test within the last 5 days and have health conditions putting them at increased risk for severe illness. Every person who volunteers for a clinical trial plays a powerful role. Go to covidpillstudy.com to learn about the clinical research process. You can be part of developing a potential COVID-19 oral treatment that may bring hope for moving beyond COVID-19. Participants will receive all study-related care and either a placebo or an investigational drug for COVID-19. If you are 18 years of age or older, have COVID-19 symptoms, or tested positive for COVID-19 within the last 5 days, go to covidpillstudy.com and answer a few simple questions to see if you may qualify for this study. Please consider participating in this COVID-19 oral treatment study by visiting covidpillstudy.com. Volunteer today at covidpillstudy.com.
Twin Peaks is adding one of the most well-kept secrets in all the beer community to select Texas drink menus. Yes, Yuengling Traditional Lager is here. Starting August the 11th, participating Twin Peaks lodges will serve that coveted Northeastern Premium Lager at a perfect 29 degrees. In addition to its scenic views and those made-from-scratch menus, Yuengling Traditional Lager pairs perfectly with Twin Peaks Nashville Hot Chicken and, oh, those hand-smashed and seared burgers and those great new loaded fries. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, and, oh, those scenic views.
O'Reilly. Ready for an oil change? Visit the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to get everything you need. Right now, get 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for just $28.95 and earn double O rewards points with your purchase. Protect your engine against sludge and wear with Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil. On sale now at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The play is in. The Blitz with Jason Minix and Sports Insiders. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. You know, during football season on Mondays, we're going to have Clint Stoerner on, but we were preempted for baseball on Monday, so Clint's joining us now. Clint Stoerner from Sports Radio 610, former Cowboy quarterback, joining us now here on the Blitz. What's up, buddy?
Man, not much. How you guys doing?
Fantastic. Cut down day in the NFL. I see you had Nick Caserio, the Texans GM, on your show today to talk about the roster cuts. And, you know, the big question is still going to come down to Deshaun Watson. And I know Nick Caserio is doing a good job of not providing answers, but Deshaun is taking up a roster spot, at least for the time being.
Yeah, he's taking up a roster spot, and I don't think that the Texans have any other option, Jason. Look, we've had Michael Lombardi on, who's a former NFL exec with several teams and knows the business inside and out. Whether you like him or not is irrelevant, but he knows the business inside and out. And you know, I was under the impression that they could couch him on the IR. And, man, he came on and strongly said, look, the IR would be a very difficult thing to do. Injured reserve, that is. That'd be a very difficult thing to do with Deshaun Watson because the NFL is keeping tabs on what's going on in Houston with Deshaun. And if something like that were to be attempted, he figured that the NFL would have their own doctors on top of that, and Deshaun would have to be cleared by those doctors. And so really the fact that he's not on the commissioner's exempt list, the fact that I now know that it would be an extremely long shot to put Deshaun Watson on an injured reserve, I don't think the Texans had a dang choice in how they handled Deshaun Watson if they do indeed want to keep the possibility open of getting multiple first-round draft picks and multiple second-round draft picks in a trade later in the year.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking yesterday that maybe Deshaun just develops a mysterious hamstring injury and ends up on the IR or plantar fasciitis. One of them kind of injuries that, yeah, you're going to be hurt. You're on the list for 6 because, I know it's you only got 46 active, but we hear about how valuable roster spots are, but their hands are tied. It's not like they're going to release them and they can't get full value in a trade right now. They're just going to have to play this thing out.
That's right. Their hands are tied. And the thing is they've got Deshaun Watson under contract with an absolute monster off the field issue. And these other teams can lowball offer and act like they're interested and then walk away from it. The fact of the matter is that the Houston Texans can't. And the only place that they have to couch Deshaun Watson right now is put him on the 53-man roster, make him an inactive on game day, pay him $10.5 million, and you're doing all of that to assure that if and when things are cleared up, you have the draft capital that you can get in return for Deshaun Watson. That's ultimately their stance, and there's not a whole lot of change, to be completely honest with you. It's the old school. Jay, you remember this? Hell, when I was in the NFL, thank the Lord that teams kept 3 quarterbacks on the roster. And back then, I don't know if it's still this way, Jason, but back then you had 45 on the active roster, and you could dress a 46th player as an inactive quarterback. Well, hell, that's how I made my money. And so ultimately the Texans right now are in a position where they're old school. They're going to play this thing old school. One of their inactive players on the roster is going to be their third quarterback who is never going to play, and that's Deshaun Watson. So it's not a huge stretch, but, it's an inconvenience, but it's not going to hurt this team in terms of their roster or their depth chart.
Clint Stoerner with us here on the Blitz. You can hear him on Sports Radio 610 down in Houston. In our conversation here has been a lot with the Cowboys and their interest level in Cam Newton. What about Houston? Would he be a decent landing spot if he's willing to go somewhere and be a backup?
Well, if he's going to be willing to go somewhere and be a backup, it damn sure is not going to be Houston behind Tyrod Taylor. You can bet on that. I think there are a handful of places where Cam Newton would be an upgrade to the starting quarterback, and I think Houston would be one of them. The only problem there is if Houston makes that move, or if they were to make that move, I think the only way that it's a smart move is if you decide that you're going to commit wholeheartedly to Gus Malzahn's offense at Auburn. That's where Cam Newton's at. The game is past him. He's not an accurate enough distributor of the football. He doesn't understand timing, pacing, anticipation, and all of those things to the level that he needs to. He can no longer play the game athletically the way that he used to. He can still play it athletically, but not the way that he used to. And so my opinion of Cam is this: if there's an offense out there that anybody believes is going to go full-blown quarterback run game, ground and pound, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, then we can have a conversation about Cam Newton being a viable option at quarterback. If not, then in my opinion, Cam Newton's got to swallow his pride, swallow his ego, and go somewhere like the LA Rams or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Green Bay Packers. Teams that have championship aspirations, Super Bowl in their future, or Super Bowl hopes, and he can be a package quarterback in short yardage and goal line situations. Go get your ring, have fun, be around winners, and let's move on. I think the ship has sailed of him being a starter in this league.
from a backup standpoint or going somewhere with packages like that, and I know what Bill Belichick said today, and the answer was no, but would a team bring in an unvaccinated backup quarterback, knowing that if backup quarterback, you got to be ready if the starter goes down. If you're unvaccinated, chances are you might not be ready. Is a team going to be willing to roll the dice for Cam Newton in that situation if he doesn't get vaccinated?
No, absolutely not. He's not a good enough player. He's not a backup quarterback. Is not valuable enough in today's game to warrant the non-vaccination, if you will, the unvaccinated. Look, here's the deal: it's not about that player being available. Right? It's about that player being more susceptible to the virus, and then that player knocking out the whole quarterback room, or knocking out half of the locker room, or knocking out whoever in the hell he hangs out with in his downtime. It's not about that player. It's about that player and the close contact rules and what it would mean to everybody else. So, look, I'm not one to get off in the weeds on vaccination versus not being vaccinated. I do what the hell I have to do. I like my job. And I believe in doing and I want to keep my job, and I believe in doing whatever I need to do my job to the fullest. And if I weren't willing to do that, then I need to move on and do something that I didn't need to, that wasn't part of the requirements. I just believe that as
Pledge, do we lose Clint Stoerner?
No, I'm here. You got me?
Yeah, you cut out just for a quick second there, Clint. Clint Stoerner from Sports Radio 610 in Houston with us on the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Let's talk about the quarterback situation. I think that the Cowboys wanted Garrett Gilbert to win the job, and he didn't. Cooper Rush beat him out. They bring in Will Grier today, who at one point when he was a freshman at Florida played for Nussmeier, who's the Cowboys quarterback coach. So that relationship is there. So I'm not surprised when I saw Carolina release Will Grier yesterday that he ended up in Dallas. But does that signal to you that even though Jerry says they're comfortable with Cooper Rush, they brought in another quarterback? Does that mean they're not comfortable with Cooper Rush?
Oh, absolutely. They're not comfortable enough with Cooper Rush. I mean, Jason, look, I don't think that would you be comfortable with Cooper Rush as
No.
other quarterbacks were right? I mean, as other quarterbacks were hitting the market. I mean, especially guys that you have an experience with. I mean, look, Will Grier. Here's the deal. I mean, Will Grier is a guy that I think his game translates to the NFL really well because he's always been a great anticipator. He's got great feel in the pocket. I don't know that his arm's any stronger than mine was. I hate to break it to everybody, but I don't know that his arm was any stronger than mine. So I think he can do good things in the league and as a backup. And truth of the matter is, hell, he's a good looking sucker too. He might even do better than I did in the streets of Dallas and in his social time. So he'll be a good fit in Dallas, man, and possibly be that backup over Cooper Rush sooner rather than later.
That last statement, dude, you were legendary. I don't know that Will Grier is going to do better than Clint Stoerner in the streets of Dallas.
Oh, hey, look, Will Grier's a lot better looking than I am. That's for damn sure. Now, I don't know if he's got me in the effort category because I try. There ain't no doubt about that. I'll never fail you from a lack of effort. But, man, he's got that long, dark hair, man, that good facial hair. He's a good look. He was blessed at birth a little more than I was. So he's got an upper hand if he wants to. That's for damn sure. So, and the Dallas streets, here's the deal. The Dallas streets don't give a damn if you win Super Bowls or if you're 5'11", man. They'll take care of you. I promise you that.
You got a star on your helmet. You're good. So in that category, how do you figure Gardner Minshew is going to do in Philadelphia?
Oh, wow. Good question. What the hell is Philadelphia doing? What in the hell is Philadelphia doing, by the way? I mean, they've got – you think that's one team that's got their quarterback situation figured out. At least they think they do. And then they go out and trade for Gardner Minshew. And then on the flip side of that, what the hell is Urban Meyer doing? Hey, I got a quarterback competition with my number one overall draft pick, who is slated as the best thing since Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning. I'm going to give away valuable reps to Gardner Minshew as if he's going to start. And in the minute I name Trevor Lawrence a starter, I'm going to trade the guy. You just gave a guy valuable first-team reps when you've got a rookie that you knew you were going to give the job to, You gave a guy valuable reps that you didn't even want on your team. What the hell is Urban doing? And then he steps back in that mess today with talking about the vaccinations and admitting that it's part of the process here. Well, Urban's got some things to figure out in this NFL, doesn't he?
He certainly does. It's interesting. And I saw Jane Slater from the NFL Network report that the Cowboys never even inquired about Gardner Minshew, which was a bit of a surprise. But apparently Garner has been trying to get traded to Philadelphia since early in the offseason, knowing that they were going to get Trevor. He's been trying to get to Philadelphia. So I give Urban credit for letting him go where he wants for a 6th-round pick, because at least in Garner's mind, he's got a chance in his mind to compete for the starting job there against Jalen.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't. I see where he would view that as a vulnerable spot, possibly down the road. But I think they're pretty committed to Jalen. I mean, hell, the last couple, I know one of the preseason games he didn't play because he was sick, but the next one he didn't play because he's clearly the starter. It's interesting to think that would be the spot of choice, to the point where you're urging the coach to trade you there. But stranger things have happened, and if there's a quarterback that we're not real sure if they're physically gifted enough in terms of throwing the football to lock down a starting job in the NFL, Philly's probably it. I don't know that Jalen's got I don't know if he's advanced and progressed to that point yet or not. He's moving in the right direction. So hell, Gardner Minshew may see things that we just hadn't seen and be making the smartest decision on the streets.
We'll find out. Clint Stoerner from Sports Radio 610 with us here on the Blitz. Before we let you go, Clint, college football this weekend, we're finally underway up in Austin. Hudson Card named the starter, but Sark said he's not the permanent starter, and Casey Thompson is going to get some playing time. Does that create issues inside of a quarterback room when you beat a guy out, but you haven't really beat him out?
Well, I mean, it just depends on what the situation is. I mean, I think for both of those guys, they're so young and inexperienced that it's probably a legitimate statement by the head coach, and he probably doesn't know who the best option is. He's probably leaning towards Hudson Card, obviously, or he wouldn't have named him the starter, but he probably really doesn't know. And so I think you sit both of those guys down and look, you say, look, neither one of you guys have pissed a drop in college football. I know y'all been praised since you were 12 years old, but you hadn't done a damn thing. I know they had a pretty good little bowl game last year. You hadn't done a damn thing, so you don't have a say-so in how we handle this quarterback situation. You're going to take the reps that we give you. We're going to evaluate you, and we're going to make a decision as we roll. Every rep matters at practice. Every rep matters in every drill, and I need you guys to handle it that way. I think they're in a good position right now because you got a bunch of young cats, or let's say you got a bunch of inexperienced cats. The problem where competitions, in my opinion, where coaches go wrong with competitions is when you've got a veteran who is clearly, whether it's because of the experience or it's because of the intangibles or for one reason or another, he's got the best fit for your team, but yet you recruited this young stud and you want to keep him happy, so you're going to make it look like he's got a potential ability to start or he's going to get some reps. That's when you got a recipe for disaster, because if I'm that veteran guy, I'm looking over my shoulder going, Coach, winning is not the most important thing to you if this is what you're going to do. And so that's not the situation in Texas or at Texas. So I think it's a healthy competition, and I think it's what has to happen right now for Sarkisian to get the program where they need to be.
Follow him on Twitter at Clint Stoerner. You can listen to him on Sports Radio 610 down in Houston, former Cowboy quarterback Clint Stoerner. Enjoy the long weekend. I know we're off Monday for Labor Day, so we'll have to figure out a day next week that works for you to get you on. And then during football season, typically on Mondays. Clint, we'll talk to you soon, man. Always enjoy it.
Hey, man, anytime I can talk to the beautiful people of the Texas Hill Country, I'm here for it, brother. Doesn't matter the day. Just let me know, man. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Clint Stoerner here on the Blitz. Tomorrow we're going to be live out at Texas Cheer Liquor from 4 to 7, the location down on Palo Alto. Going to be a fun time down there. And, of course, on Thursdays, we always give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. So if you've been grilling, you want to upload a photo of what's been on your grill at sasportstar.com. You could win $50 from Tri-County Meat Market for grilling with the Blitz. And look, it's Labor Day weekend. You know you're going to fire up the grill. You know you need to get into one of the two Tri-County Meat Market locations They're locally owned, full service, and they have carefully selected certified prime Angus beef cuts, Wagyu, upper choice. They even have their own homegrown Wagyu. You talk about fork to farm to fork Wagyu. They've got it there. They've got more locally sourced premium meats because they've teamed up with Dean and Peeler Premium Meats out of Floresville. If you're looking for the beef, the chicken, the pork, their seasoned fajitas are the best in town. That was what was on my grill last night. You can't beat it. They got the poppers. They got the prepared meats. They got their Pig 5 for $25 that's always available. And for Labor Day, boy, they got some great specials. How about a Wagyu brisket at $8.99 a pound? You can't beat that. Their brisket burgers at $5.99 a pound. 3-bone plate ribs and 4-bone chuck short ribs at $9.99 a pound. Those sirloin fajitas at $12.99 a pound, and the Tri-County jalapeno cheese sausage at $5.99 a pound. Take advantage of those Labor Day weekend specials there at Tri-County Meat Market, and you know they always offer a 10% discount for military and first responders. They have 2 great locations, Ralph Fair Road, one on Huebner, or go to their website, tricountymeat.com.
2 teams, 22 players, and over 100,000 screaming maniacs. Your home for Cowboys football on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
You know, injuries do happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need to know about Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries, and he has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. You know, there's no reason for you to be in pain. So if you're hurting it, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Schedule an appointment by calling 210-804-5490, 804-5490, or learn more online at tsaog.com.
Great news, Slackers! Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar is now opening at noon 7 days a week at all 4 area locations. North Star, St. Mary's, Slackadochis, and the Medical Center. Slackers is the home for 7-day-a-week happy hour, now starting at noon every day. And by popular demand, Slackers brings back the signature frozen drinks. Bring a date, bring a crew, or come on down solo. Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar serves you up all your favorites and quenches your thirst 7 days a week, starting every day at noon. Visit slackersbarssa.com for more info.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Listen up, sports bettors. This is Hall of Famer Warren Sapp here to tell you about my favorite sports book, BetUS.com. I only endorse one sports book, and that's BetUS.com. Just like me, BetUS is the Hall of Famer of online betting with more than 25 years in the biz. Call today, and they will get you set up faster than I can run the 40. I play at BetUS, and so should you. BetUS.com.
Join now and get up to 200% in bonuses on your first deposit. Call 1-800-MY-BETUS.
Tell them Sapp sent you.
When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. If you're having to rework your office, let Hill Electric design your socially distanced space to ensure each workstation has the proper electrical needs. For over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. There is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074, or go to hill-electric.com.
Start fall with everything to do business better during Dell Technologies Labor Day event. Save up to 45% on select business PCs with Windows 10 Pro. Power your workday with savings on Dell servers, monitors, docks, and other accessories, plus free shipping on everything. Do more with modern devices and Windows 10 Pro. Call 877-ASK-DELL for a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find the right tech. That's 877-ASK-DELL for business specials during Dell's Labor Day event.
O'Reilly.
Ready for an oil change? Visit the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to get everything you need. Right now, get 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for just $28.95 and earn double O rewards points with your purchase. Protect your engine against sludge and wear with Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil. On sale now at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly. Auto Parts.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
When your AC fails in the San Antonio heat, there is no time to search. Save Service First in your contacts and have an AC tech on speed dial 24/7. Service First. Save us before you need us.
Tap Service First in your phone. 521-1500.
8 days until the Dallas Cowboys kick off the NFL season against the defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. On your home for the Dallas Cowboys all season long. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Greeny on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Don't forget to wake up with R&R in the morning tomorrow, 7 to 10. Then Greeny at 10, halftime at noon. Kellerman for now at 2, although he moves to the morning show with KJZ starting next week. Tomorrow with the Blitz, we're going to be live out at Texas Cheer Liquor, the Palo Alto Road location. It's down there off Palo Alto next to the Walmart there. It's in the Patron Shopping Center. You know, that's like having a locksmith on Key Avenue. The fact that Texas Cheer is in the Patron Plaza, I think, is fantastic. We'll be out there tomorrow from 4 to 7, so you can get stocked up for Labor Day weekend. Then Friday night, we've got good high school football coming to you from Comalander Stadium. Alamo Heights taking on Churchill. Our high school football energized by Hill Electric. There's college football on tonight. I forgot. Just glad ESPN rolls right in. UAB and Jacksonville State. They are scoreless right now. They're not playing at UAB. I don't know how I feel. They got a new stadium, but they're not going to play at Legion Field anymore. Kind of liked going to Legion Field. That's a good spot. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We will talk to you guys tomorrow at 4 from Texas Cheer.
Get the latest scores from all varsity sports and all the schools in the 210 anytime at 210varsity.com. Sponsored by the San Antonio Express News.